Good evening, guys.
Vita.
Hello, good evening, Toastmaster Ayunda.
Hello, good evening, Toastmaster Agara. So, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. So, welcome, guys, to our educational session from Ministry of Finance Toastmasters. We may wait a minute for others' audience to join. Hello, Toastmaster Yanta, as our MC today. How are
Hello
you?
everyone, I'm great. I hope
Great.
our events today will run smooth and you'll get the most benefits of our events today because we have a very representative speakers today. I am Ayunda.
Oh, that's astonishing. And you're now in Bali, right?
Yes, I'm in Bali right now.
Oh my God, hearing about Bali is making me imagining about about the sea, about the beach, and yeah, really miss about traveling.
I hope you can do that soon.
Okay. And for the audience, you may open your video so we can have a little bit chit chat before our begin our educational session this evening. Hello, Toastmasters Mon. Oh,
Yeah,
she's
hello.
wow. You're from Metropolitan Toastmaster.
Yes, right.
Okay. Hello, DTM Gusti. Hello, guys. Okay, raise your hand if you're a first timer to joining the Ministry of Fine Art Toastmasters meeting session. You may raise your hand and or open your mic and say ah. So, are you all already in the home in your house, or you're still on the way to your house? Right.
I'm still at office.
Oh, you're still at office.
I'm already home, Kak.
Ah, you're already home, madam.
I'm sorry for the username.
Oh,
Uh it
is
it
it
was my game name, but I forgot to change it.
oh, is it madame or mademoiselle?
Yes, more likely like a French
Oh.
nickname. Yeah. No, it was a name that it was a name that my friends got for me, so it was fun to use it.
Oh, yeah, that's really eye-catching also. And guys, please info to your friends to join the meeting because our meeting will begin soon at 19:15. Oh, we have our DTM Alvin here. Hello, DTM Alvin. Open your cam. And one and only speaker tonight, TM Uki. I will say hi. I will greeting him first. Hello, TM Shukri.
Hi, Ayunda, Toastmaster
Hi, how are you?
Ayunda. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me here. And hi to all Toastmasters, soon to be Toastmasters, and visiting Toastmasters as well. Good evening, guys.
Good evening. So how is it? You barely just come from your master's
I
degree,
know.
like, yeah.
It was a yeah, it was a joyride. I mean, coming from United States, there are so many changes here in Jakarta, especially. So I'm in Jakarta right now, guys. In case you guys are from all over the world or probably from other than Jakarta. So yeah, fresh from the oven.
Literally
Yeah.
fresh from the oven. So
Mhm.
is it, do you experience a bit of jet lag?
Yes, totally. So for your information, the flight from my flight was from New York City,
Mhm.
JFK to Jakarta, and it took me around 24 hours to get here, including the layover as well. So yeah, it was a very, very long and tiring flight. I would say the jet lag hit me like around a week until finally I got sober and feel like okay, I'm in another side of the world because coming from United States like the west side of the world and then coming back to Indonesia, the other part of the world. So yeah, it's very, very far. Literally far.
Literally, like
Yes.
24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the time differences as well. It's like around
Mhm.
12 hours. So yeah, it's very, very far.
Indeed. Okay. So, what do you miss at most about Indonesia when you are in the US?
Oh, I miss a lot of things, especially the food, because in United States, I feel like the food is lacking. Somehow they are not spicy. I love spicy food. And then I don't know, like Indonesian food is like one of the best in the world, especially like rendang, nasi padang. I you will definitely miss the spices from Indonesia and yeah, the food. And of course my people here in Jakarta, my family, my friends, my office as well, which is Ministry of Finance. And then what else? Yeah, I think the environment and the surroundings as well. So yeah, so many things to be missed when I was in United States. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next week maybe we can have sharing more about TMOK and
Of
his
course.
journey
Yeah.
of a master degree. Right, the time is reached 19:15. Okay, I will give this control to our MC, Toastmaster Yanta. The screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for brief introduction to our speaker also, Toastmaster Ayunda. Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well and are ready for an insightful learning session tonight in our Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club. On behalf of the organizing committee, which is this community, I would like to warmly welcome to all of you to this event. We call it education session, and we have a topic here: how to elevate your study. Of course, because our speakers is a PDP awardee and LPDP awardee. Of course, I say in here in the context for a PDP scholarship selection. Okay, my name is Toastmaster Yanta, and I'm honored and delightful to serve you as your MC in this insightful moment. And first of all, we are delighted to see all of the enthusiastic Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and also visiting Toastmaster. I see some of them welcome. Before we begin, allow me to maybe give some a little rule, like any other webinar maybe you have attended. First of all, kindly keep your microphone muted throughout the session, and please use the Zoom chat box if you experience any technical difficulties. So our committee can help you with anything you have trouble with this Zoom, and you can submit your question through the Zoom chat, but we will address it later in the last session. We will have Q&A session in the end of the session, and I hope everyone can maintain a respectful and supportive learning environment. Nothing nothing sensitive share around this event, so we can get a great meeting and great benefits to the maximum from our speakers. So, without any further ado, uh, let us begin the event. But before that, maybe you have met our club president, Toastmaster Ayunda. I mean, the club president of Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club. What is Toastmasters Club? Toastmasters Club is a global organization dedicated to help you improving your communication and leadership skills. Now, to tell you more about Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club in particular, uh, I will call again Toastmaster Ayunda to give a little introduction about this community who have presented a great event tonight for uh, maybe any PDP applicants in the future. Thank you. Toastmaster Ayunda, are you ready?
Hello,
Okay.
am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, guys. Good evening. I want to greet our audience here. Hello, our dearly guests, our soon-to-be Toastmasters, our Toastmasters members and visiting Toastmasters, and also my friends all over this Zoom meeting. Hello, raise your hand and give reaction, please. Hello. Hello, hello, welcome. I'm Ayunda. As a president of this Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club, I honorably welcome you guys to this educational meeting session. This is our first educational session in 2027. 26. Wow, I'm ready ahead of time. Okay, to briefly introduce you guys to Toastmasters, please DM Eggy to share the screen about the Toastmasters. So, are you guys wondering about Toastmaster International is? Well, do you really need to find a place to Yeah, Toastmaster International is a nonprofit educational organization that teach public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. Okay, because now we are in our working era, because sometimes we're really hard to find a community or maybe a place for us to genuinely give our vibes that encourage us to learn English and learn public speaking and leadership skills. So, this is what Toastmaster is. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Okay, next. And of course, because we have our own uniqueness, our own authenticity, this Toastmasters requires us and provide us so many pathways that um, encourage us to find our true and to find our interest and objectives in our public speaking. There are pathways that is engaging humor, dynamic leadership, motivation strategies, presentation mastery, visionary communication, and persuasive influence. Before this, in our Toastmasters website, we have a question, so much like question about the psychology question to match your own style of public speaking. So this pathways is like a curriculum provided by Toastmasters to encourage you to leveling you up in your public speaking. Next. So our weekly session is consist of prepared speech session, table topic session. This table topic is questioning the random question about the theme of the meeting requires by the committee, the members of the Toastmasters club. And also this Toastmaster have its very benefit which may be distinct by from other community and club because we have evaluation session. Sometimes when we are practice in our own by using our phone or our mirror, sometimes we have a limitation of knowledge, so we couldn't see our blind spot, right? And this Toastmasters help us to see our limitation and our blind spot in order to improve our public speaking. So this evaluation is really encourage us in a place for us to improve our better for our public speaking to become a better public speakers. Next. So these are our meeting rules. There is Toastmaster of the meeting, select MC, table topic masters, general evaluation, timer, grammarian, counter, and ballot counter. So it's quite really, really fun, isn't it? Next. So, this Ministry of Finance Toastmaster Club was initially built by the BKF Toastmaster Club in early April 2017 by Mr. Irwanda and Adioga. So, this is the place where we have a fun and growth vibe and also a safe space to encourage you to improving your leadership and public speaking English skill. Next. So these are our benefits. Of course, improve public speaking skills, build self-confidence and self-awareness, because sometimes in our working situations, sometimes we couldn't have a certain opportunity to develop our self-confidence and public speaking, right? So practice, and also the next is practice writing speech and presenting in group setting. And next. And of course, maximize your potentials because we have competitions, speech competitions. Of course, you can reach your unlimited personal growth. Next. Of course, you can build your leadership skills and work on networking in supportive environment, gain a competitive advantage in the workplace. This is our regular meeting. It's open for all, not only for the Ministry of Finance, but also our visiting members, but also people from outside the Ministry of Finance, my friends out there, or maybe you have an interest to start your journey in learning English and speaking and leadership. You can come to our meeting. It held every Thursday on ABV or Zoom online at 5 until 6:30 p.m. The the link tree is in the this is the link tree I will update again. And if you want to know more about the Ministry of Finance Toastmaster clubs, or maybe you really, maybe I have a slight interest to join the meeting of the Toastmaster clubs, please kindly ask the Toastmaster Eggy. Please, Toastmaster Eggy, raise your hand. Okay, Toastmaster Eggy is Vice President of membership. So if you interest to join our meeting, please kindly ask Toastmaster Eggy. Okay, that's all. My introduction about the Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club. I'll give the setting back to you, Toastmaster Yanta.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Agenda. Okay, um, after the introduction of Ministry of Finance Toastmaster Club and for all of you interests with our community, just called Toastmaster Agenda. And right now, we get back to our main event. So our speaker is Toastmaster Shukri Dula. Let me introduce him. So I must read his CV, so all of you can recognize him well. So his full name is Muhammad Shukri Dula, and his last education, as you have heard maybe in the beginning, he was from US, precisely in Cornell University, um, School of Public Policy. He took Master of Public Administration, concentration in economics and finance. And before, he took his bachelor degree in Pancasila University, a Bachelor of Economics, major in accounting. And before that, he took a Diploma 3 in accounting in Sekolah Tinggi Akuntansi Negara. So he has worked in Ministry of Finance as internal auditor and has certification related to his work. And also, he was our former president in our Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club. And of course, he actively participated in some volunteer activities like Kemenq Mengajar. And yeah, you can, his CV has been shown in the screen, so you can read his skills as complementary to his great achievement I have mentioned before. So I'm proudly welcome to Toastmaster Shukri. We call him always by Toastmaster Uki. Toastmaster Uki.
Hi, Toastmaster Yanta.
Hi, it's great to have you here, and thank you very much to share to all of us your insight, your experience, or anything about your great experience as an LPDP awardee in the US. And without any further ado, of course, all of you are waiting for this main moment. I would like to give the control of the screens to you to start your presentation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta. Can everyone hear me okay? All right, okay. So I will share screen about the presentation about my experience, especially in United States, which is in Cornell University. All right. Yeah. Can everybody see the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta. All right, well, let's start the presentation. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and soon-to-be Toastmasters. Thank you so much for having me in this special occasion, which is the education session, provided by Ministry of Finance Toastmasters Club, the club which always bring me so much fun and so much joy every time I joined this club since 2017. And okay, this is the most important part of the presentation, which is the introduction of myself. Yeah, so the education background that already mentioned by Toastmaster Yanta, I came from STAN, accounting diploma, and then I continued my study, bachelor degree at Pancasila University, and then I continued my master's degree in Cornell University, Master of Public Administration. Okay, so I will let you know a very brief presentation about the Cornell University itself. So by showing of hands, or you can type in the chat box as well. How many of you know the number of the Ivy League universities in United States? You can type it in the chat. All right, let's see. 7, Toastmaster Yanta, and then soon to be Toastmaster Wira, 8, and then not sure about 8 or 9, 3, 9. All right, no worries. 8, okay. So basically, there are 8 Ivy League campuses, 8 universities in United States. So the first one, which is very well known, is Harvard University, and then Princeton University, Yale University, Columbia University, Cornell University, Brown University, and then Dartmouth University. The last one is University of Pennsylvania. So there are 8 Ivy League campuses. Cornell itself was founded in 1965, so it's basically like 100 years ago by Ezra Cornell. He's not actually a scholar or a professor. He's actually a self-made businessman and his fellow. His name is Andrew Dixon White. Andrew is a scholar, and it was built on a truly revolutionary idea, which is the famous motto that we Cornellians know, it's any person, any study. And one of the fun facts that I could let you know about Cornell, that Cornell is a hybrid Ivy. So most of the other 7 universities like Harvard, Princeton, Yale, those universities are private universities. But for Cornell, Cornell is a hybrid university. Why? Because it is private owned university, but also serve as a New York State's land grant institution. So basically it's like a state-owned university, but also it's a private university. And the famous motto that we have in Cornell is Big Red. As you can see in the screen, you can see there's a like a logo here with a C and then the bear. The bear is like our most well-known character in our university. It's called Touchdown. It's a bear. And our famous motto is Big Red because Big Red, it's actually like the nickname was founded or coined until 1905. So years ago, 100 years ago, when alumnus wrote a football fight song and they simply coined Cornell University as Big Red. So every time if you hear about Big Red, that's probably Cornell, Big Red Cornell, something like that. And another fun fact, if you eat the chicken nugget right now, it's actually initially been brought by the professor in Cornell University. His name is Robert C. Baker. He's a Cornell food science professor since 1963. So if you eat if your favorite food is chicken nugget, then the founder of chicken nugget is actually from Cornell, and he's a professor in Cornell in Cornell food science professor. All right. Next, Cornell University and why, what makes it famous? So, I've been living in Ithaca, New York. So, Cornell University is located in Ithaca. Ithaca is the upstate New York. So, uh, the location is like literally 4 hours away from New York City. It's a small city. But I could say that Ithaca is basically Cornell University because like most of the people who lives in in Ithaca, they would actually like have some relationship with Cornell, whether they are students or probably they are workers who work at the Cornell University itself. So, yes, it is beautiful and it is famous for the gorges. Gorges is like a waterfall, it's like a small waterfall, and so many gorges that we can find in Cornell University. So, basically, if you go to Ithaca, the landmarks consist of like gorges. Our campus, like Cornell University, is like surrounded by gorges and very, very beautiful lake. The first gorges that is very well known, if you can see here, is Fall Creek and Cascadilla. Fall Creek, if you see the bridge here, it is that beautiful and it's only located in Fall Creek Gorge. While in Cascadilla, you can have a little trail and you can have like some beautiful scenery around there, um, especially when you visit the Cascadilla Gorge. It's also well known for the slope sunset. So if you could see the picture here, it's called Live Slope. The picture in the middle, in the center, it's called Live Slope. It's a massive grassy hill. So basically, Cornell University is like located on a hill. So the landmark is very hilly, I would say. But it's very beautiful because from Live Slope, you can definitely see the sunset and then you can see like the little lake around there. It's very, very beautiful. The other landmarks, which is very, very well known, is McGraw Tower and BB Lake, and of course the Cornell Botanic Gardens. So all I could say, if you visit Cornell University or probably you want to continue your study, your master's degree, doctoral degree to Cornell University, I would highly recommend you to go to Ithaca because you could finally like experience the best experience in your life because you could see so many beautiful sceneries and so many beautiful natural what is it like sceneries especially around campus, and you don't have to like spend so many times to go there because like only 5 minutes away from campus you can definitely get this kind of experience. So yes, I would highly recommend you to apply and submit your essay, whatever it is, in Cornell University, not only in other universities as well. All right. Okay, so moving on to another presentation of the night, which is the essay tips and structure. By showing of hands, no, I think you have to type it in the chat. Are you guys is still in the process of applying for the LPDP batch 2 right now? You can type your answer in the chat room if you don't mind. All right, let's see. Yes, Toastmaster Yanta. All right, good luck. So this education session would definitely okay. And then Madam. Okay, is anyone still in the process of applying LPDP batch 2? Okay, no worries. from my experience, because I applied for the LPDP scholarship back in 2023, the registration process is kind of simple. And I feel like the process right now is quite different with the experience that I had back in 2023. So basically, if you want to apply for LPDP scholarship, you have to make like a statement of purpose and a personal statement, right? All right. Oh, Refina. Okay. Hi, Refina. Yes. Thank you for joining. And then I think you are also in the process of applying for LPDP batch 2. Okay, so this is gonna be very important to all of you, not only for those who are applying, but those who are gonna apply in the future, near future, like in next year probably, or in the next few years. So the most important part of the process is actually not the administrative process. I would tell you that the most important part is actually the substantive test, which is the interview test. But since one of the administration process requires you to send some essay, so basically you should write your personal statement on the web, on the application process, especially regarding about your experience, like your personal experience, and then the reason behind why you should continue your degree from bachelor degree to master's degree, and then you could also give like a contribution statement right after you finished your study. So for me, myself, personally, I have four parts that I wrote in my essay. The first part is the introduction about yourself. So this is like a screenshot of my essay. I would like let you know the big part of the essay, because like the in the details of my essay, it's like too long to be explained here in the presentation session. So basically, I will give you some points of my essay about this part, which is the most important part, because this is like the beginning or the hook of your essay. For me personally, I feel like you have to put like the most interesting part of your personal life. In my essay, I put my background. So I was born in Papua, which is east, the most east part of Indonesia, and then I also highlight some of the striking data which I get from the Central Statistic Agency or BPS about the number of people who continue their education level, only 8.54%, which is very, very low. Why this is important? By highlighting the data, you could give like the most interesting part of the personal life that you had. That's why people would want to see more of the essay. Um, and then the next part, which is the problem, why you should continue your education to the next level. This is the part where you could give the reason, the main reason of you applying for LPDP. So me personally, as an employee, government employee in Ministry of Finance, I feel like the need of um, skillful internal auditors is very, very important, especially in my echelon one, which is Inspectorate General. So back in the day, in 2022, there's the issuance of Ministry of Finance Regulation number 18. And it is very important for us, the internal auditors, to have so many analytical skills. Let's say economics, budgeting, public finance, government financial statement analysis, and stuff like that. And that is why, like the biggest why to answer, why would I continue my study? So in your cases, probably you could like make your own personal experience, probably in your work environment when you find something is wrong or you want to try to fix the problem inside your communities, environment, whatever it is, you could make it and use it as one of the reason or the second paragraph that you want to put as your problem. All right, and then the next part is your preferences of universities. I know some of you probably have so many options for universities, especially when you want to apply. If I'm not mistaken, LPDP allowed you to choose 3 universities instead of one. But in my case, I choose only and I only highlighted one universities. Back in the day, I didn't put Cornell as my number one universities because Cornell's like actually my third option. My first option is the Australian National University actually back in the day. Why I choose ANU or Australian National University as my first priority back in the day because there are so many. One of the things that I want to let you guys know that you have to do your own research. When you want to continue your university, like let's say in Melbourne University or probably in Cornell University, you have to give one impactful reason why this university could answer the problem that you highlight before in your essay. In my case, when I highlighted Australian National University or NU as the number one priority that I want to continue my master's degree, because in Australian University, there is this project which is called Australian National University Indonesia Project, and it is the only campus in the world that initiates this project. So I would highly recommend all of you to find one impactful reason that could answer this question, especially when you have the problem that you already specify in your essay. And then you have to put your first what is it, like top university as the reason why you have to continue your study. And this university, this specific university, could give you the experiences, the subjects or the skills that you are trying to find to solve the problem. And then right after you get the university that you have chosen, you have to be direct and very specific of what are the contributions that you are going to do right after you finish or graduate from your degree. That's why we will go to the next part, which is the contribution after your master's degree. In my case, I feel like the need of specificity, especially highlighting the contributions that you can make in Indonesia right after you graduate is the most important part. Why? Because all of the reviewers that would see your contribution right after graduation, they don't want to see some um, unmeasurable and unspecific contributions. Why? Because the basic aim or the basic goal of LPDP itself is the contribution right after the awardee graduate from their program. So I would say you have the need of the specificity of your contribution right after you graduate. That's one of the plus point that uh, you have to be carefully analyzed because once you put the contribution, it would be like a plus point for all of you to be considered as an awardee, and the reviewer will see it as a plus point because your contribution is specific and it's measurable. For my case, I put my first contribution after completing my master's degree would be I will continue my job as internal auditor because I'm a civil servant, I'm a government employee, and then I will use the policy recommendations for performance audits that are based on the theoretical and practical knowledge that I gained from the public administration courses. So this is, I would say this is specific and measurable because the reviewer would see that, okay, so the problems that I raised in the previous paragraph would be answered by my first choice of university. And right after I graduate from my university, I would measurably the contribution that I do right after my graduation, it will be measurable and it would be very, very specific. That's one of the tips and tricks that I could give to you regarding the contribution part of the essay. And last but not least, I feel like the process of getting an essay, writing an essay in the administrative part of LPDP is like the actually the easiest part because back in the day when it was in 2023, you have to pass the administrative process and then you have to do some kind of test. The last test is the substantive test, which is the interview. And I feel like the percentage of the success rate of the substantive test is very, very low right now because that's the actually the hardest part of getting an LPDP scholarship. So one of the tips and trick that I would say to you, if you pass the administrative test and then the quantitative test, and then you move on to the substantive test, you should reread everything that you put in your essay. You have to do lots and lots of mock-up tests as well. You can do it by yourself, you can do it with AI, or you can ask a partner, like an awardee or a friend of yours to do the mock-up test. Why? Because the mock-up test that you will do is very beneficial, especially to hone your speaking skills. And then the other thing that you should know is that there are some questions coming from the reviewer, the interviewer, about a bunch of things that you would not expect it. So I feel like it is very, very like the most important part right after writing your essay is you have to understand everything that you wrote in the essay and then mock up test literally like as much as you can, as much as you could, especially before the day of the interview. And last but not least, in the essay, actually, it could be, I don't know about the regulation right now in 2026, especially for LPDP batch 2, but I feel like you could actually write your essay in Indonesian in Bahasa, or you can also write it in English. But for my case, I wrote my essay in English because I feel like it is very important for me to showcase my English skill as well to the reviewer. Because I'm trying to continue my study outside of Indonesia, and then this skill would showcase that I have the skill, which is writing skill, needed to continue my study, especially to a graduate program or master's degree outside of Indonesia, using the English speaking language. So it is very important. And no, actually, this is optional to all of you, whether you want to write your essay in Bahasa Indonesia or in English. but I highly recommend you to write your essay in English as well because it's like a double kill, especially when you want to write other admission essay, especially when you're applying to um, Cornell, for example, or to Melbourne University, an Australian university. You could use your literally your essay for LPDP and both for the admission essay as well, like the purpose of statement or other essay that is needed for the admission process, the for the admission process in other universities as well. All right, so that's it. I think that's all that I could say for the tips and trick to all of you guys. Hopefully, these tips and trick could give you some highlights or probably like inspirations to write a very wonderful essay. And I think I will give the control back to Toastmaster Yanta. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki. What an insightful experience you have shared to all of us here. And one thing I remember because you already highlighted that in the end. Of course, all of us, the candidates,
Of
will
course, yeah.
we're strongly sensitive to the word tips and tricks. So yeah, so you have given us your own personal tips and tricks. Um, if you pass to the substantial piece, you must read and understand everything you have in your say, and
Exactly. Mhm.
doing as many as small passengers you can, as it can prepare you to any situation in the interview, so you can be well confident, more relaxed, and can answer properly, especially for the question you have been practice a lot. Okay. After that, oh yeah, we already have one Q&A. So I want to remind to all of you guys once again, we have open Q&A since the beginning. Just put your question, anything related to LPDP essay. It shouldn't be strongly connected to Toastmaster Uki experience because we are all different. Maybe you apply to this university, this program, maybe your background or your contribution plan to our country is different. So yeah, anything related to our topic today about LPDP essay, please don't hesitate to put your question in our Zoom chat. Okay? But before we jump to the Q&A session, we already have one lucky essay to be presented by our speakers. So uh, maybe all of you have noticed our poster and our caption for this event. You have known that we will have essay to be reviewed by our speakers directly. I don't know if it would be anonymous or not. I guess not. I guess not, right? I can discuss the name of the essay owner. How is it, the committee? I guess I can reveal the name of the essay owner. So the essay no, not we, uh, that speakers would review tonight, essay from Salmatun Miswa. Yes, so Salmatun Miswa has submitted her essay before the time limit. that provided by the committee. So I guess without any further ado, and to give more, I mean, uh, real, real things how our speakers uh, thought in making an essay. So we present this session with we pick an essay, and yeah, so Toastmaster Ufi uh, can explain, review, give comments, and if maybe he would tell us if he was in this person positions, I would like this. I wouldn't include this thing. I should include that thing. Okay, we will know about that from our speakers. Okay, I'm giving it back again to Toastmaster Uki uh, to tell us how this essay looks like in your perspective. Toastmaster Uki, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta, and back with me again, guys. So tonight we already have one essay coming from. I will let you know directly right after share the screen. Okay. From Salmatun Niswa. Okay, congratulations, Salmatun Niswa, and thank you so much for um giving us the essay. And I think I need your consent as well to share this essay to the audience. This is gonna be a very, very practical example of an essay, especially personal statement for the administrative part of LPDP. So if you could see here in the screen, Salmatun Niswa, she wrote about her background. It's actually like the structure of the essay is actually similar to the structure that I already shared to you guys. The first part of the essay should be about your personal life, your personal identity, or the introduction of yourself. For Salma Tuniswa, she wrote that she is the employee of Directorate General of Taxes or DGT in Indonesia. And then she had a 1 year diploma program in 2015. And also she faced a very strict regulations. Not only her, but all of us here face strict regulations requiring 8 years of service before being allowed to pursue a bachelor's degree. And then this reality did not break her spirit. Instead, this persistence drove her to earn her bachelor's degree in 2026. So, I would give you some inputs to Salma Tuniswa. You can probably improve your first paragraph of the essay. So, the hook for the first paragraph could be your personal journey of getting a degree. Instead of saying that we are lacking in the regulation system, especially for employee of Ministry of Finance, I think it is better if you could highlight your journey, your personal journey, your struggle to get a bachelor degree, and you can highlight more from the positive struggles that you faced. You could also tell the reader about your personal struggles as an individual. For example, when you grew up in a rural areas where education is limited and hard to achieve. Why this kind of introduction is much more like better than the previous version that you wrote here, because I feel like the reviewer would had they would finally see the hook of your essay. You're struggling and you're coming from like a rural areas, or you have a personal struggle and you need this master's degree. you need this kind of education experience, especially to continue your master's degree, in order to get more new knowledge, more new insights from other people, because basically you are coming from a very like a remote part of Indonesia probably, or probably you have some struggles in your family as well. It's gonna be a very, very good highlights for you, especially for the reviewer, when you could tell them, but with some honesty, because you can't make things up. You cannot tell like a um, not true stories in your first paragraph. So I would say that you could find another interesting things personally that you could write in your first part of the essay. And move on to the next paragraph. So what I love about this essay, Salmatun Niswa already highlighted the problem that she faced, especially when especially in her working environment, which is DJP. She highlighted that working on the front lines of tax administration in a nation of 270 million people, which is the number of people of Indonesia, gave me a rare opportunity to witness the disconnect between technology, policy, and public acceptance. So we can see problem here, right? And Salma Tuniswa tried to solve the problem by continuing her master's degree, to get a degree, to get a knowledge, some kind of skill, a new skill especially, right? And there is this digital transformation, especially Cortex, and she also has like another challenge here is that the lack of digital literacy among lower income communities. This is a very good point for her essay, and as if I were the reviewer of this essay, I would give plus points for this part because she nailed it. She could explain the problems that she faced right now, and it should be solved by having a master's degree. But there are some notes that I could see here. I prefer this paragraph as the first opening paragraph, since this paragraph highlights the lack of digital literacy and the needs of public sector practitioner. So instead of putting this part of the essay, Salma Tuniswa could move this part to the first part of the paragraph, because I feel like this is the hook. This is the problem that you face right now, and this is what the reviewer want to see. As a reviewer, they would definitely want to find the problem that you are facing, and the answer to the problems that you are facing right now is by continuing your study. So I feel like this part should be in the first paragraph instead. However, if you choose this part as a second paragraph, you could also add some striking data with the source about the number of people who are still illiterate, especially in digital transformation. As I mentioned before, Salwatunista, she didn't mention about the like the number of people who are illiterate, especially in the digital sector. It is better if you could find some striking data from the BPS probably, uh, or from other trusted sources that mentioned about this. You can also like find it from journals, papers, or whatever, as long as the source is trusted. Why this is important? Because the reviewer wants to see that you're not making this up and you're bringing like the real story from your perspective. Moving on to the other part of the essay. Okay. What I like about this part is that Salmatunisa could answer the problem that she's facing right now. These challenges led me to conclude that Indonesia lacks public sector practitioners who can bridge macro level regulation with human-centered digital execution. Through the master's program at the University of Melbourne, she mentioned the university, that's a very plus point. I aim to deepen my understanding of how developed nations design inclusive public policies. But I could add some tips here. Adding the complete program's name, for example, Master of Public Policy, Master of Public Administration at University of Melbourne, it is much better. It could also be beneficial in your essay because you directly mention the program's name. The more specific it is, the better, because the reviewer wants to see whether you have made the research or not. Because University of Melbourne is very big. Instead of mentioning the big university, you could specify it, and then you could literally mention the program that you are aiming or you are trying to apply. And then specifically, I want to study the intersection of public policy and strategic management, focusing on trust-based tax compliance systems and social psychology approaches. Um, the other thing that I would add in this part is that I would recommend to mention specific subject. If you already made some research about the subjects that are provided by University of Melbourne, you could literally mention it. Like you can, for example, I want to study strategic management by Professor X, and then because Professor X has a specific research about X, about whatever it is, and then it could give me the skills that I want. It could enhance my knowledge, my practical ability, my experience, something like that. So I would say you have to put the specific subject that you are trying to learn. You are trying to learn in University of Melbourne. Moving on to the other part, this is the actually the part where you have to let the readers know about your contribution. So Salmatun Niswa, she mentioned, upon completing my studies, I'm fully committed to returning to my institution with a new capacity. I will no longer be just an operational staff member, but a change agent capable of formulating mass psychology-based tax education strategies. What I like about this part is that Salmatun Niswa could answer the contribution, or she could specify the contribution that she is going to do right after the graduation. This is a plus point, but again and again, I would say specificity is very important. You have to make the contribution measurable and achievable. For example, here, I would recommend to construct an achievable and measurable action. For example, I would design a policy recommendation about digital literacy by strengthening the digital platforms and blah, blah, blah. And then the action that you put in your contribution part could could be not too strategic as long as it is achievable and measurable. So the most important part is that the reader or the reviewer would see that, oh, okay, you're not making this up. You're trying to convince the reader that, okay, this is the things that I would do and it is achievable and I can do this right after graduation. The more specific it is, the better, and the more achievable it is, the better. So I would say you should, instead of like formulating math psychology-based text education strategies, this is too big. You have to make it to some actionable um, actionable task or achievable actions So the reviewer would see that you are being honest and you are trying to realize you are trying to contribute right after the graduation. Your contribution is achievable and measurable. And this is the last part of the essay, and I feel like as long as you could improve these parts, the suggestions that I would suggest to you, I feel like you're gonna nail this one, especially the administrative process, and then you could definitely move on to the next step of the application for LPDP Batch 2. So yeah, I think that's all that I could say. I also saw some questions from the audience right now, but I think I will give the control back to Toastmaster Sianta first. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki, for a thorough review and comment, and also maybe evaluation, like we are in the Toastmaster, to our, yeah, one of our participants' essay. And I hope, first, I hope it would be useful to the owner of the essay, and it can be useful to all other participants, even who eventually not writing that essay, but you get the insight, the thought, is it the correct word, thought flow to of our speakers to write the essays. And yeah, up until now, thank you very much for all of you who still stay in this Zoom. Because I guess this is the part where you can interact most with our speakers. It's Q&A session. And I guess Toastmaster Uki, uh, maybe if he didn't remember to give the control back to me first, he would just automatically answer all the questions in the chat box. And he
I
has
see.
been several of them. But before that, I guess we will take a screen photo session before we jump to the Q&A session. For all of you who can turn on your camera for a moment, please let us know your handsome and beautiful faces, and also part of our documentation to this event. If you can and if you would. Okay, the committee, the control, I'm giving the control to take the screenshot to you.
Thank you to Toastmaster Yanta. Okay, guys, we are in the photo session. Please open your camera. Toastmaster Akara, be ready?
Yes, Toastmaster Ayunda, we will wait for 1 minute for everyone to open up their cameras in 2021. Past
Okay.
20, we will be
Ready.
taking a screenshot. So please open your cameras, everybody, if you can. If you can't, that's totally okay. But we would like to see all of your faces in our documentation.
Okay.
I can
Hello, Toastmaster Medi.
for people opening up their cameras. Once we reach 21 past 20, we will take the photo right away.
Okay. Please open your camera, guys. We'll have our photo session. Oh, Toastmaster Medi is always at her pose.
All right, it's 21 past 20. Please open up your cameras if you haven't already and give me your best smile. We will be taking the photo for the first page in 3, 2, 1. All right, for the second page, nobody is actually opening up their cameras, but let's just take the photo so we can see all of your beautiful names. 1, 2, 3. And let's take it once more for our participants who have opened their cameras today. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much. I give the control back to Toastmaster Yanda.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Akara and Toastmaster Ayunda. And let's jump to the last session. And to be honest, Toastmaster Uki finished his presentation faster than the time we gave him to. So we have extended time limit for our Q&A session. So take this chance to all of you who have any question related to LPDP essay. And first of all, yeah, I have the committee and I have asked to all of you if you have questions, just put it in the Zoom chat. But I want to give the first chance to anyone who raise his or her hand and interact directly with our speakers. Okay, we have the first winner, soon to be Toastmaster Rifki Samad. Are you there?
Hi, hello everyone.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Am I? Can you hear my voice? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can hear you fine. I
Okay.
can hear you fine. Yeah, you can ask your question to our speaker.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Yanta, for the opportunity to allow me to ask my question directly, and thank you also for TM Shukri to have been presenting his beautiful essay. I'm actually in the state of awe to see your essay because I've seen a bunch of essay before and it is full of words, but your essay is somehow uh, compact and give us more information in just one paragraph. So that's different. It's totally new for me. So is it a deliberate choice when you put much number in the every paragraph, and what is the reason behind that? Because most of the essay are so they focus on their reasoning, their personal feeling, but you somehow choose to present fact and data. So how is it help you in the substance section of the third part of LPDP, um, part of the last part of LPDP? Did they scrutinize the data when you facing the interviewer? I think that's my question. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suntubi Toastmaster Rifki. So can I directly answer the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I guess it's better to just one question or one speakers, and
Yeah.
we'll directly answer
And
it.
then I could directly answer the question. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta, and thank you so much, Suntubi Toastmaster Rifki. It is a very interesting question because the reason behind putting all of the data, especially from trusted sources, especially from trusted sources, it is very beneficial for you, especially for the substantive tests. Especially, this is the hardest part of LPDP application, to be honest. If you put the data, I feel like it is more quantifiable, and as long as it is measurable and achievable, it is very important for you and beneficial for you to put lots and lots of data. But don't forget that there is a connection between your essay and the problem. The main reason of your essay is to answer whether you need a master's degree or not. Because the reason what the reviewer wants to know from you personally is that whether this person is um, ready or not to get a master's degree, or this person is ready enough or not to continue the program. So as long as you put the problem in your essay and then you could answer the problem through some specific data, it would be very beneficial for you, especially the striking data that you put in your problem section could relate to the master's degree that you are going to take, or probably answer the questions from the problem. I would definitely suggest you to put it, especially the striking datas. So yeah, back to the main points that I already mentioned to you. If you put the striking datas in the problem section and then you try to answer the datas through continuing your education, especially master's degree or master's program outside of Indonesia, that would be a very, very beneficial um, tips and tricks for you, especially to continue your study. So yeah, put as much as striking data as possible in your problems and make the reviewer or the reader of your essay convinced enough that, okay, this person is ready and this person should continue the study because he or she would want to answer all the questions from the problems that you raised in your essay. Thank you so much, soon to be Toastmaster Rifki. If you have another question, you can just directly ask me.
I'm sorry, Toastmaster Uki and soon to be Toastmaster Rifki, to give the chance to
Oh,
most
yeah,
of
I
the
see.
participants. If soon to be Toastmaster Rifki have the following question, please put in the chat box so
Of
it
course, yeah.
will, yeah, it will follow the line with all the others. So from our direct participant, I would love to jump into our chat box. Some of them have been answered by Toastmaster Uki, but I will read the one who you haven't answered yet. Um, it's from Madame. I guess she said her real name is Ravina. She has two questions. I hope I'm not mistaken with her real name. Is it completely necessary to include all of my background since I have experience on different roles? In my current essay, I only bring up my current position and the problems. I think it's important so I can highlight the situation. I think it's about the highlighting and relevancy, I guess. Okay, you can respond it later. And for the second question, in your essay, you mentioned that you would go back to your current position, but in my case, I aspire to be enrolled in a different position. Will LPDP panelists consider it as immeasurable? And what advice could you give me if you were in my shoes? Well, I've also been in her shoes. I have thought a contribution, and that contribution would be in different role. Okay, I guess that's the two questions. Toastmaster Uki.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta. For the first question, is it completely necessary to include all of my background? No, I don't think so. So you have to highlight the most important part of your personal background. Like in my case, I highlighted that in Papua, there are only like 8% of people who continue their study, continue their education. So it's a hardship that I want to highlight in my essay. And I want the reviewer to understand that as people coming from rural part of Indonesia, I have this spirit to continue my education. So I feel like if you have one specific and interesting experience from your personal background, you have to highlight it in your first paragraph. And then the second question, you mentioned that you would go back to your current position, and oh yeah, for this specific question, I think it is okay if you want to go back, as long as you could go back to Indonesia and then you contribute wherever it is. it should be number one rule should be measurable and achievable. If you want to go back to Indonesia and then you have another role, and then as long as it is achievable and measurable, I think the reviewer, the panelists would be convinced and they would directly know that you are ready to get another education program, especially master's program, right after applying for LPDP. So I would say you could write the contribution that you are going to do, whether in a different position, as long as it is, you have to make sure that the position is achievable. And right after going back to Indonesia, you could apply for that position. You could also highlight like the ways that you are going to get that position as well, like probably applying for that job position, or probably be in the talent management or whatever it is, or like a career path that you are trying to find in your later life right after the graduation. As long as it is number one rule, achievable and measurable, I think you'll be fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki. And the next one, I guess, soon to be Toastmaster Yusuf asked if whether the essay can be shared here with the committee. If it cannot, yeah. So I'm sorry we cannot share it. But if we can, just please share it in the chat box. And I guess for this question, you have answer it. But do you want to add up, because here Sundarbit of Pandu has asked, do you think measurable should follow by statistic or quantitative thing? Maybe this is just a short answer because you have answers this previous
Yeah.
question from Pandu Satya Wicaksono.
Okay, so my short answer would be as long as your essay, so there should be connection in your essay. If you want to write like so many like data heavy in the beginning of your essay, you have to answer it probably not very data heavy or quantitatively, because all in all, like right after that, the reviewer or the panelists would see the connection between all the paragraphs. You have to answer the first thing is that the problem that you're facing. If you want to give more data, more information there, as long as you can answer it in the following paragraphs, I think that should be fine. So back to I think this also could answer the question from Suntubitas Master briefly as well. He asked about data heavy essay gave me easier time in the substance section of LPDP, or is it the opposite? And then since there is so much things to be challenged by the interviewer, how was your experience at the time? Okay, so actually, highlighting the data, especially in my essay, it would make me easier to answer the questions from the substantive part, because basically, when we have the trusted sources and we already highlighted in our essay, I think the reviewer would convince even more because we already did our research. So all of the data that we are providing to the panelists, to the reviewer, if they're asking the credibility of the or the validity of the data, we could show them the source as well. And I would say that you don't have to find like a complicated data to showcase in your essay. Instead, you could just find like simple or easy to understand data, as long as it could be answered by the following paragraph, that you're trying to answer this kind of problem which is showcased by the data. But as long as you can answer that by applying to the master's degree to the specific university with a specific professor or specific subject materials, as long as you can answer that in your essay, I think the reviewer and the panels would be convinced about your plan of study or your contribution to the essay.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki. And I don't want to delay if any question could come up, so you can directly answer it. So please, everyone, if you have any question, this is a great moment, a chance for you to have maybe some thought about LPDP essay that you cannot ask anyone else. This is one of the chance. And I will move to the next question. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you want to ask the question in Bahasa Indonesia, it's totally okay because yeah, LPDP offers not only to foreign country but also in domestic university. So maybe some of you uh, not focus too much on English because yeah, you just want to check domestic university. It also has a lower IELTS requirement. So yeah, you can ask the speaker also in Bahasa Indonesia. It's totally okay.
And one more
And
thing,
we,
Toastmaster Yanta, I think I could share my presentation earlier, so I will send it in the chat box. Hopefully, it could be beneficial to all of you to write down the essay and nail of course, the administrative part of LPDP batch two, right, in 2026.
sure. Please, thank you very much, Prof. Master Uki.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we plan to share it to committee that if you want to share it directly to our chat room, it would be very, yeah, it's great for everyone have direct material after this event, not taking too many time. Okay, we move to the next question. It's question from soon-to-be Toastmaster Weni Indriani. Hi, may I ask a question? You mentioned that you wrote about ANU, Australian National University, in your essay, but eventually studied in at Cornell, which was your third choice. How did you decide which university to discuss in your essay? Is it okay to write about the university that is most relevant to your study and contribution plans, even if it's not actually your first choice university?
Okay.
I guess this when soon to be Toastmaster Weni want to take like right now like non-LOA applicants. I
Yes.
think
Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yanta. Yeah, for this specific question, I would say that since I enrolled for the LPDP for the non-LOA what is it like the non-LOA application instead of the LOA application, I still have three choices for the university's prioritization or the choices, right? But as I already mentioned, I already mentioned it before when I was explaining to you, but the reason I put NU, actually that's the top priority because in ANU, there are a project named Indonesia Project, which is only held in Crawford School in Australian National University, and I feel like it aligns with the goals that I'm trying to achieve by studying in Master of Public Administration. But right after I know that in Cornell, there's this center, it is called Atkinson Center and the Center for Southeast Asia, specifically for Southeast Asia Center. I feel like no matter what you are trying to write in your essay, as long as you have the specific goals that you are trying to solve, uh, about your problems that you already highlight in your first paragraph of your essay or the beginning of your essay, if you feel like the three universities could answer those problem, I feel like you can write it in the following paragraphs, but still the reviewer wants to see whether you have done your research or not. For my experience, already made so deeply researched about Australian National University instead of Cornell University because I have a very limited time during that time in 2023 to prepare everything, and I feel like NU asking from people from the previous years in already taken NU and graduated from NU. I feel like okay, NU is the choice, but since the process of LPDP is quite long, when I feel like okay, this is the goal that I'm trying to achieve, I'm trying to answer all of the problems that I'm facing right now through NU. Along the way, right after the the administrative part of the test has been passed, I already did my research about Cornell. And I found that Cornell aligns more because the Southeast Asia Center, especially the government part, there's a professor there. It's Professor Irwan Jaya Aziz and then Professor Thomas Pepinski, who wrote about a journal specifically about Indonesia and about Village Fund. I feel like it more aligns with my goals that are going to be answered by taking a master's degree. That's why I changed my program from NU to Cornell. Since I'm very lucky and I feel like the research that I did for NU has convinced the reviewer and the panelists that I am eligible or I'm more than eligible actually to uh, move on to another part of the test. So I feel like you should do your own research first, and then you have to make sure that the connection between all of your problems that you raise in your essay are being answered by highlighting the top priority university you're going to apply or you're going to continue in the next step. As long as you can answer that and the connection between the question and the problem has been solved by the university that you choose, it should be fine. All in all, back in the day, I feel like okay, NU is gonna be my top priority university. But since the reviewers saw that okay, NU is the best choice of my um, university that I'm going to continue, I could convince them that I could contribute more by taking this program and then taking this specific subject, specific professor. I mentioned it in on my essay and in the substantive test. Instead of explaining about Cornell, I explain even more deeply, more specifically about NU. And it would convince the reviewer and panelists even more if we did our research. So the most important thing to tips to all of you, not only for soon to be Toastmaster Rennie, you have to do your own research about the university that you are going to apply.
Okay, thank you very much, Master Ufi, and I hope to soon to be Master Weni, it can answer your question. From our speaker's explanation, and I guess the follow up question from Sundubi Toastmaster Rifki, also you have answered that too. So yeah, we ran out for a question from our Zoom chat. So please everyone, if any question you have more, please put it in the chat box, and we move maybe to our participant directly. You can raise your hand. Oh yeah, one of our committee, Toastmaster AG, wants to ask question personally for himself. Okay, Toastmaster AG, please.
Hi, Tamuki. I want to ask about if we are interested in the specific programs or specific course, but actually the course not really aligned to our place our workplace. So it was just like this, like I'm really interested in sustainability things, so like it may be like sustainability finance or sustainability accountants, but I'm currently is working in the National Single Window Agency, so it's not really aligned to what it is. But do you think it is okay for me to put it in an essay, but for the sustainability career that would be good for me to contribute after my study would be uh someone that I aspire to be. So just maybe like I can contribute in DJSEF or DJSPSCA, or where the sustainability accounting really there, the function of there. Or I could just address myself as someone who works at the Ministry of Finance, like more like wider, something like that. And then I said that Ministry of Finance has yeah, such things, so I can contribute through there. Thank you so much, Temuki.
Thank you, Toastmaster Egi. I think this is a very interesting question, and probably not only Toastmasters Egi is facing this kind of, what is it, complication in his life, especially when you're trying to put the contribution and it's not aligned with what you're going to do right after the graduation. Okay, my short answer would be it is okay. It's okay if you want to, what is it, write your contribution, which is not really aligned with what you're doing right now. Uh, the most important part of your essay should be the problem that you are highlighting is answered by the program that you're going to apply in your study. For example, if you are trying to take courses about sustainable finance, I would say that the problem that you are trying to highlight in your first paragraph is you have to show the striking numbers of like sustainable problems that Indonesia is facing right now. And probably you could also let the reviewer or the panelists know that you are working in Ministry of Finance. And thankfully, for me, as an employee from Ministry of Finance as well, right after the graduation of our, once we graduated and going back to Indonesia, we have to do a re-entry program, which the re-entry program would you will be placed in another echelon once, and I feel like it is a very good you could put it in the contribution part that the sustainable finance is really needed in the JSF, or probably it's one of the answer that you are going to address for the problems that you're highlighting in another echelons, as long as it's okay, like you want to answer the problems that DJSF is facing right now regarding the regulations about sustainability, or probably the environment problems, or probably you can just make your own research about another echelon ones as well, like in DJPPR, if I'm not mistaken, they're trying to do like a sustainable finance through green bond and sukuk, something like that. Or probably you're trying to highlight another problems that um, another directorate or another institutions that you are going to put in your contribution part of your essay. As long as it is connected of each other, and you could convince the uh, reviewer, the panelist that you are doing your research, you need this specific knowledge, specific experience, specific practicality that you're going to get outside of Indonesia, and convince them, you'll be all right, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, the another tips and trick that I did doing my during my substantive test. So I would say that the hardest part of LPDP process is actually the substantive test, guys. So it's the interview part. You would write a very, very good essay, but if you could not deliver the essay, like you cannot tell the reviewer, the panelists about the problems that you're going to solve by continuing your master's degree, you cannot pass the substantive test. So the tips that I would say to you is that you have to understand the connectedness in your essay. You have to read it a lot, read, and read until you understand what you are trying to highlight in your essay, and then do mock-up test. Mock-up test is very, very important. You can ask someone who is not from Ministry of Finance, probably from other areas, from other job, employees from other firms, probably, to see whether whether they understand what you're trying to deliver in your essay. Because as long as you could the people that you are trying to explain understand what you are trying to solve and what you are trying to like the problems that you are bringing, it should be fine, guys, because the mock-up test that I did, especially during the preparation of my LPDP substantive test, I tried to explain my problem and the solution in my essay to my wife, and then I got some inputs from her as well because she's not from Ministry of Finance. She works in a bank, and she could understand what I'm saying. She could see that I'm trying to solve the problem with by continuing my master's degree, and then the contributions that I made in the essay is measurable and achievable, and it is not hard to attain. As long as another person could understand it, I think the reviewer or the panelist would also convinced by doing so. So yeah, I would suggest you to do your own research. You should bring up the problem who could be solved by continuing your education. That's the most important part. So as long as it could be answered, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki. So we are approaching our time limit. I will give one more chance to one of you who want to directly asking question to our speakers. Uh, just one last chance. Anyone want to take it because we have one question in our chat box actually. Anyone? You can raise your hand. And also, oke banget jika kalian mau nanya dalam bahasa Indonesia. Itu nggak masalah. Oke, I will count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we move to our question in the chat box because we have new question from soon-to-be Toastmaster Salma. Mr. Shukri, I just followed your LinkedIn, so please accept it. It's personal request. Yeah. After this, it's her question. In your essay, I guess it means part one. I think your background is totally interesting, especially you come from different ethnics growing up. So you have a lot of story to be told. should we follow your example in introducing ourselves, especially if our backgrounds are mediocre, only live in Java, never have been to Papua, etc. I guess no one have mediocre background. It just maybe common, I guess. And with Shukri, maybe one of a kind, one ethnic live in another place, person where majority is not your ethnic, like I am. I'm Balinese, but I grew up in Jakarta. So
Hmm.
yeah, how's it, Uki?
Thank you, Toastmaster Yanta, and thank you for the question, soon to be Toastmaster Salma. Well, my short answer would be everybody is unique. Since I have this uniqueness, like could separate me from other candidates. I feel like this story could be highlighted in the introduction paragraph. But I believe that everybody is unique and everybody has their own story to be told. So I would say you could find your own story, which is interesting to get the hook, especially when the reviewer or the panelist trying to understand who you really are. So as long as you could put your specific, not really specific, probably like your uniqueness. You're not coming from other part of Indonesia, or probably you're growing up in an environment where education is not really education is very important, but you're the first person in your family who is trying to pursue a master's degree, and like your parents probably is not a master's graduates as well. You're gonna be the first person in your family. I think you can highlight it as well in your first paragraph, in your introductory paragraph. Why this is important? Because probably the reviewer wants to see your personal side of the uniqueness uh of you yourself. So yeah, all I can say is that not only soon to be Toastmaster Salma, but everyone who is in the process of the administrative process of LPDP batch 2, you should find your own story and make it unique. And I think, oh yeah, Toastmaster Yanta, I think another person, which is Toastmaster Sharaki here is also,
Oh yeah,
yeah, he has
I
another
I
question.
skip I skip him. Okay.
That's all
Oh,
right.
and it's so I guess it's on the right time. We want to close this Q&A session, and I guess it's a very great question to close our Q&A session
Exactly.
from Toastmaster Kiki. What
Yes.
is the craziest question you have had, or what crazy questions have you heard from others during interview? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prof. Soon to be Toastmaster Kiki. So Toastmaster Kiki is one of my um when I was the president of Minister of Finance Toastmasters Club back in 2020, Toastmaster Kiki is one of the member, and he was actually one of the ESCO as well. So welcome again, and thank you for joining Toastmasters Kiki. Yeah, for the craziest question that I've ever heard. For me personally, I don't have this kind of crazy question. The panelists and the reviewer, they asked me uh, not not really about the content of my essay, but they really want to know about the contribution that I am going to do right after the graduation. So I feel like as long as the contribution that you have written in your essay is achievable and measurable, and then you could convince the panelists, it would be a very plus thing for you, and you could nail the substantive test. But in fact, before my interview test, I heard from another uh, people who were having the interview test asked by one of the panelists about this silly question. It's very philosophical, I would say, because the question is like this. There was a pond, like kolam, a pond, and then there were two fishes, the big one and the small one. And if you were one of the fish, which one would you pick? That's a very silly question to me because that's too philosophical and too, I don't know, like out of nowhere. For me personally, that question, if I were that person, I wouldn't answer that question because I have no idea. If you were a fish in a small pond, which one would you choose? That's too philosophical. And I feel like the LPDP has a very strict regulations, especially for the panelist and the reviewer, the interviewer. They couldn't ask questions regarding like specific discrimination or probably like too philosophical, to about racism, about so it should be neutral. Um, the last tips and trick that I would uh let you guys know before the interview, like literally before the interview and after the interview, you have to be as cheerful as possible. Like you have to open it with like another like a very interesting things that could caught directly catch directly the interviewers. So I started with my interview with pantun probably, or you could start with like a what is it, like a funny stories probably, because I believe that the interviewers has a very hard time on that day and you would want to cheer them up. So that's one of the tips and trick that I would want to say to you. As long as you are cheerful, you are okay, you could answer it all of the question, you understand your essay, you'll be fine. And don't worry about the silly questions because I feel like the panelist is professional enough to ask you the content of the essay or the contribution that you are trying to do right after the graduation.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Uki. And with that catchy question, that catchy question, it ends our Q&A session. Thank you very much for all the active participants, both direct and indirect through Zoom chat. And next, before we officially close our meeting, I would like to call one or two participants to ask about their impression and maybe their commentaries about this event. Anyone can raise their hand. You have, if you have your opinion before I choose choose anyone. Okay, maybe I want to ask the one who opened the camera, soon to be Toastmaster Wira and soon to be Toastmaster Ricky. Uh, I want to ask, uh, can you open your mic? Maybe from soon to be Toastmaster Wira. Hi.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Yeah. Are you applying in the next batch of LPDP?
I was originally planning to, but after some consideration, I think I will pass this opportunity.
Oh,
Maybe next year. Yeah.
okay, okay, it's all right. Whatever your choice, whenever you're ready, it's great. Maybe any commentaries or impression about our meeting, and maybe some suggestion what we can improve. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, this is my first time attending the Minister of Finance Toastmaster Club, so I'm really eager to joining. But since the topic itself is Well, I'm not applying, so I don't have any questions at the moment. But I think this is a good chance to at least practice my writing skills because most of us here ask the question in the form of writing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna join the next I think on the West next week or maybe 2 weeks from now.
We
Is there
have
any schedule?
the weekly meeting.
Okay.
It's every Thursday, 5 p.m. And to keep up with our schedule, you can check our Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So you guys
we
have
have.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think I'm
Right.
gonna.
We have only official Instagram that we in that social media we always updated our meeting. So please come. Any question you can ask to Toastmaster Egi who have asked question earlier. Anything not only about membership but also about our meeting and anything you want to attend in our event, please ask him.
I don't have many things to ask, but if I have to ask, maybe I'll just ask why. Or not why. Did you apply for any other scholarship beside the LPDP, like Means or maybe I don't know. In America, they have
Oh.
Fulbright, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, maybe I just answer this personally. Yeah. To you want to ask us, Matariki? Actually, maybe short answer from
Short answer.
Toastmaster.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Do you apply on the LPDP or also other scholarship?
Yeah, so actually I in 2023 I only applied LPDP scholarship, but back in 2021 I already applied for AAS, the Australian Awards Scholarship as well, but it turns out it wasn't successful because it was very hard to be accepted in AAS on the time during the pandemic. But yeah, keep on trying, keep on I would say that the struggle is real to get a scholarship actually, guys, because LPDP for me personally, it's like my third tries before finally get the scholarship. So all I can say is that you have to do whatever it is to get the scholarship. Like keep on applying, keep on applying. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Master Uki,
Okay.
and
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for your commentaries, impression, suggestion to us. Thank you very much, and you can contact Master Egi later. Okay, I want to ask one more person who open his camera, soon to be Toastmaster Ricky. Can you maybe can you speak maybe?
Hi,
Hello.
can you hear my
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for attend our event till the end, till nearly the end. I want to ask, first of all, are you applying for the next batch of LPDP scholarship?
actually I haven't applied for this batch yet.
Okay.
Uh, for your information, this year I just became eligible this year. So
Okay, it's
I
okay.
learned from
Mm-mm.
everyone's experience to help me prepare for my scholarship
Mm.
application in the future.
Great, great. Yeah, it's good to prepare early when you are not registering in that time, I guess. So you will have more relaxed preparation. And I want to know what's in your mind about our education session. Maybe any suggestion, any impression, any thought, maybe criticism, evaluation, etc.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Oh yeah, I want to know what's in your mind about our event this evening. Maybe impression, suggestion, maybe some evaluation to us. Anything?
Actually, it is a good event, and I hope it will be held regularly, maybe.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. It's short, but really take into our heart. We would love to have an event like this regularly. Yeah, but we try as much as we can to provide maybe a good topic to all of you, our participants, so you can get the most benefit from our education sessions. So just wait up for our next event, and yeah, maybe our weekly meeting. You can also learn and practice public speaking there with us, with no, like, in a very friendly environment. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ricky. And I guess we are nearly the end of our education session, but actually, before we close it once again, we want to give a token of appreciation to our speakers, Toastmaster Uki. Uh, we have a digital certificate here, I guess from the committee, and we would like to take a photo of it with you. I guess I'll give the hand. I will give the monitor control to our committee, so they can prepare the certificate for you, Toastmaster Uki.
Of course, thank you so much. Yeah.
How is it? Toastmaster Egi, maybe?
Master Ayunda gonna hand the certificate or
Okay.
Okay, Toastmaster Muhammad Shukri Duwila, thank you for your participation as our speakers tonight, this evening. It's such a really wonderful and outstanding knowledge for us to draw our essay. And this is the certificate of appreciation for you from the Ministry of Finance Toastmaster Club. Please, you may receive it. Okay,
Thank
maybe we
you.
can have a photo session. Toastmaster Egi.
okay, I'll try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Toastmaster Shukri. Maybe we can have our upcoming and following session after this session, right? It's such really, really opening and widening our eye and knowledge about this essay. Thank you, Toastmaster Shukri.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you for joining all of the soon-to-be Toastmasters, and then visiting Toastmasters as well.
Okay, looking forward for you to join our regular meeting on Thursday.
Of course, it's such an honor because I think I miss the regular meeting so much. Uh, and I would say to all of the soon-to-be Toastmasters here, one of the tips and tricks of honing an interview with the panelists is by joining Toastmasters Club, because you could practice your English, you could practice your conversation. This platform is one of the best platform that we have, especially in Ministry of Finance, because definitely it's free. You can join it every week. You can practice and hone your English. So don't forget to come and join Toastmasters Club at Ministry of Toastmasters Club every Thursday, right?
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Actually, because we are nearly the end, but I would love to call to our essay contributor, soon to be Toastmaster soon to be Toastmaster Salma Tuniswa. Are you still here, maybe, with us? I guess not. Okay. So we
Yes, that's
have.
me.
Okay. Yeah. Also, thank you, thank you for you. So we can give like a real life experience examples of how to write essay from the mind of our speakers. So we want to take a photo and give you a digital certificate. Yeah, as our token of appreciation. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Salma. Yeah. Um, uh, and like the speakers, I will give the control of the monitor to the committee, please.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I feel so honored.
Okay, thank you for soon-to-be Toastmaster Salma Tuniswa for submitting and joining this event. Thank you. And you have your essay have been reviewed by Toastmaster Shukri for you. If you cannot make it from our beginning this session, you can see this record in our YouTube account. So this is the certificate of appreciation only for you, Salma Taniswa, soon to be Toastmaster Salma Taniswa. And here it is. Please take a photo, Toastmaster Egi.
Okay. Uh, Smile, please. One, two, three. Okay, capture.
Okay, congratulations, Salma
Thank you so
Toastmaster, soon to be
much.
Toastmaster Salma Taniswa, and I'm looking forward for your happy news in your submitting essay and your scholarship journey.
I
And
hope
of course,
so.
your
Thank
master
you.
journey. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Yanta.
Okay. Actually, this is the end of our session. Thank you very much for all the participants and all of your active what I call it active participation, especially in the Q&A session. Uh, and also for the essay contributor, you make this event exist as it is in this evening. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stay healthy. We look forward to meet you again in our next weekly meeting. Okay. Good evening, everyone. See you again.
Good
Thank you,
evening, Toastmaster
everyone.
Yanta. Soon to be Toastmaster, visiting Toastmaster and all the cast. Bye.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Iki, once again.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruki.
Thank
Thank you
you,
guys. Thank you
Toastmaster
guys so
Ruki.
much. Yeah.
All of
Hope
you
you all stay well.
participants can leave the room.
Thank you and have a good night. Bye.
Bye, Temuki. Looking forward for you in the offline meeting.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I will come by and visit you guys here.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. I'll invite you all to the regular meeting on Thursday. See you guys.